a lot of you had very strong thoughts and opinions about what should happen with the remains of Tutankhamun. So, as this is my corner of the internet, let's talk about it. If you've been to the Valley of the Kings before and you've seen the tomb of Tutankhamun, then you know firsthand that it is not a peaceful place. It is not a peaceful, nor is it a respected or respectful resting place for the mummified remains of a person, Tutankhamun. Yes, Tutankhamun is the only royal pharaoh who is physically residing in his tomb in the Valley of the Kings, and this is pretty strictly for tourism purposes. His physical remains are in incredibly poor condition, and the way everything is presented in his tomb is as an oddity, as a sideshow. Tourists stream in, they take photos, they gawk, and honestly, it's kind of sad. He deserves better because he's a person. I've talked about this before, but all of his things, all of his belongings, anyone he had ever known or been related to during his life is in Cairo. Tutankhamun is alone in an empty tomb that is not a tomb anymore. It is not a resting place. At the Grand Egyptian Museum, there are big, beautiful galleries full of all of his stuff. And then there's this room right here that specifically says no photography. And that, I think, is key to adding an element of respect and restfulness to this whole scene, because again, he is not resting peacefully in his tomb. He is being gawked at and treated as an oddity. While there is no confirmed decision on what is going to be happening with his remains, because it is likely very, very high security, because again, this is the most famous guy in Egypt, there is a space for him here, and it is in a quiet room that is darkened and temperature controlled. And on top of that, his daughters are also there. And they have a dedicated guard standing next to that case. And if you are in there, you can ask them to turn on the lights to the display case to see the remains of his two stillborn daughters. And of course, while there is an entire other conversation to be had about the ethics of displaying human remains, in this situation, this is done in a pretty respectful manner, and I was okay with it. I was actually very happy to see those little girls because I had only heard about them, I had only seen grainy photos, and seeing them up close made everything very real. And I was happy that they were there, I was happy that they were being treated respectfully, and I ultimately think it is probably in the best interest of preserving what little is left of Tutankhamun's physical remains in a better, more modern setting where they can actually rest respectfully.